A+ലേക്കുള്ള വഴി ഇനി തനിയെ തുറക്കാം. Subscribe to the ENCLAPS channel. Ring the bell button and open success. It's that easy.
Hello. We have learned how to find the coordinate of the fourth vertex of a parallelogram when the coordinate of its three vertices are given. Let's see how to find the coordinates of the midpoint of a line when the coordinate of its end points are given. All of these problems are about finding the coordinates of some points geometrically related to points with the known coordinates. Let's look at another problem like this. Look at this picture. The figure shows the coordinates of the end points of a line. The coordinates of the midpoint of this line must be found. The coordinates of the midpoint of this line must be found. How to find? Take a look at the picture. The midpoint of this line is half the distance between the point 2, 3 and 8, 5. If we know the shift in the x and y coordinates as we move from 2, 3 to this point, then we can find its coordinates. So, if we draw a right triangle like this, what is the coordinate of the bottom right corner? If we take the shift as a and b, then the coordinate of the bottom right corner will be 2 plus a, 3. Then, when it reaches the midpoint, the y coordinate increases b unit. That is, the coordinates of the midpoint are written as 2 plus a, 3 plus b. Let us draw a large right triangle in the figure to mark the change in the coordinates as we move from point 23 to point 85. So, what is the coordinate of the lower right corner of this large right triangle? We get the x coordinate is 8 from the top corner and the y coordinate is 3 from the bottom left corner. So, the coordinates of the lower right corner will be 8, 3. The angles are the same for the larger right triangle in this picture and the smaller right triangle inside it. So, the length of their sides are scaled by the same factor. Also, the hypotenuse of a smaller triangle is half the hypotenuse of the larger triangle. What about the perpendicular sides? That is also halves. Since the lower perpendicular side of the larger triangle is 6, the smaller one will be half of it, that is 3. And since the second perpendicular side of the larger triangle is 2, the smaller one will be 1, that is half of it. Now, a equals 3 and b equals 1. Then the midpoint is 2 plus 3, 3 plus 1 equals 5, 4. What if the line looks like this? How do we find the midpoint of this line? Let us think of it in another way. What is the change occurred to x coordinate and the y coordinate as we move from 3, 4 to 7, 1? The x coordinate increases by 4 and the y coordinate decreases by 3. Then it is enough to increase the x coordinate by half of 4 and the y coordinate by half of 3 to reach the midpoint. That is, x coordinate should be increased by 2 and the y coordinate decreased by 1, 1 by 2. That is, the coordinates of the midpoint equals 3 plus 2, 4 minus 1 by 2. That is, the coordinates of the midpoint equals 3 plus 2, 4 minus 1, 1 by 2 equals 5, 4 minus 3 by 2 equals 5, 5 by 2 equals 5, 2, 1 by 2. Let's see how to calculate the midpoint without drawing any picture. Let's take the coordinates of two points as x1, y1 and x2, y2 in general. Their positions can be varied. Let's take this first. The perpendicular sides of the small right triangle are half the perpendicular sides of the large right triangle in the picture. That is, the length of the lower perpendicular side of the large right triangle is x2 minus x1 and the length of the lower perpendicular side of the smaller right triangle is 1 by 2 into x2 minus x1 and the length of the second perpendicular side of the large right triangle is y2 minus y1 and the length of the smaller right triangle will be 1 by 2 into y2 minus y1. If so, how to write the coordinates of the midpoint? X coordinate of the midpoint x1 plus 1 by 2 into x2 minus x1 equals x1 plus 1 by 2 x2 minus 1 by 2 x1 equals 1 by 2 x1 plus 1 by 2 x2 equals 1 by 2 into x1 plus x2. And the y coordinate of the midpoint y1 plus 1 by 2 into y2 minus y1 equals y1 plus 1 by 2 y2 minus 1 by 2 y1 equals 1 by 2 y1 plus 1 by 2 y2. It can also be written as 1 by 2 into y1 plus y2. What if the position of the points is like this? Do as you have done before. What do you get? X coordinate of the midpoint x1 plus 1 by 2 into x2 minus x1 equals 1 by 2 into x1 plus x2, and the y coordinate will be y1 minus 1 by 2 into y1 minus y2 equals 1 by 2 into y1 plus y2. Draw pictures for different relative positions of the points. In all the positions of the points, you will get the x coordinate of its midpoint as 1 by 2 into x1 plus x2 and the y coordinate as 1 by 2 into y1 plus y2. In general, the midpoint of the line joining x1 y1 and x2 y2 is 1 by 2 x1 plus x2 1 by 2 y1 plus y2. Did you understand how to find the coordinates of the midpoint of a line when the coordinate of its endpoints are given? See you later.
3 ലക്ഷത്തിലേറെ വരുന്ന ചോദ്യോത്തരങ്ങൾ ഏറ്റവും കുറഞ്ഞ ചിലവിൽ സ്വന്തമാക്കുവാൻ ഉടൻ തന്നെ ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യൂ എൻക്ലാപ്സ് ദ ലേണിംഗ് ആപ്പ്.